TJ, now that you've been in this, I think this is your second spring, third season. What's the comfortability level like in this system with the same coaching staff and an ability to kind of learn and get better there?
I think just my ability to pick up on plays much faster than usual. I've always been a quick learner in the playbook. I feel like now being in the same system 3 years, second spring, I feel like everything's starting to flow how it's supposed to.
Now, you probably don't get to play much basketball right now, but how much have you been able to play, like, as you've gone through your football career? Because I know obviously that was a big part of your life before you got here, but do you play a lot of pickup when you're not in spring practice or in season, obviously?
Well, I mean, during the winter I was doing a little bit of just shooting around at the Strom, but I haven't really been pickup gaming lately.
Yeah. Do you have any guys you go and shoot with? Like, is there anyone else who?
Be probably me, a few of the DLs, a few DBs up in there. Nothing crazy.
Who's got the best jump shot out of that?
Best shot? That's a good question. Who can really shoot? Oh, okay, Peyton Mangrum.
Okay.
In the receiver group, Peyton Mang can shoot. He can shoot that thing.
Yeah, Eastside High. That's the second Eastside High School mentioned today, so that's good to hear. What with Coach Lindsay and working with you and Boogie and some of those other guys in your group, what's sort of been the message from him? Is there like an overall theme that he has for you guys for the spring?
Basically the same thing he's been preaching since I got here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to play this position. It's the toughest, really hardest, nastiest position on the field. But what it comes down to is all of us being unselfish, knowing what we're here for, knowing what we got to do for us to win the game. So I feel like the messages Coach Lindsay been putting out to us, I feel like the whole room has been getting it. You know what I'm saying? Another voice, me and Boogie here and there, but overall I feel like everyone's really starting to click.
TJ, you're 7 spring practices into this thing. Who are some guys on both sides of the ball that have maybe kind of caught your eye, newcomers, freshmen, that have kind of turned some heads for the first 2.5 weeks?
Well, in my group, the D-line group, definitely Jamal Weiss. I feel like that's a guy who's been just getting better ever since he's been able to get on the field. Also, I like Nick Gargilia, however you pronounce it. Sorry, Nick. But Nick really been impressing me lately. You know, I see transferring in this winter. You know what I'm saying? Those two guys are just off the top of my head.
I got you. Gargiulo.
Okay.
Nice little Italian name.
Appreciate it. My fault.
TJ, just looking at it as a whole, when you guys are trying to assess where you guys can get better at, and I know obviously there's not everyone that's back from last season, but when you look at trying to get better in the interior, the defensive line, what are some of the things that you guys are focusing on as a group?
Definitely our run fits. You know, I think a lot of things just technique-wise could be better from last season, like just small mistakes that could knock explosive runs down in maybe 2 or 3 yard gains.
TJ, kind of similar, but I mean, outside of Zach, you guys bring back pretty much everyone, at least at defensive tackle. I guess, what's that kind of like, having that group together again and having that kind of depth? And I guess, how much does that help you guys, at least going through spring and heading toward the season?
Well, losing Zach was definitely, I would say, a hit to the group, but I feel like I don't think that's really demoralized anyone in that group. I think everyone's really. We know what time it is. You know, people have to step up. Younger guys have to step up, continue getting better. Myself have to continue getting better. Boogie, all those guys, we know what time it is.
When you look back at how you played last season, were there any things heading into the spring that you say you wanted to improve on specifically?
I would say more than anything, my consistency. I feel like I could have been way more consistent than I was last season. In the run, in the pass, I just feel like I could be all around better.
Going to ask about another new guy. A lot of people have talked about Lenoris and his ability through the first couple weeks of spring ball. What have you seen from him? I know you can't probably hit him, but the stuff that you've been able to see from him at the quarterback position from a freshman.
Out of all the quarterbacks, he's definitely the fastest. He got some legs on him. But even with his arm talent, I can see it. It's there. You know what I'm saying? He got a good arm on him. You know, tighten up the accuracy and all that. I think he'd be an excellent player for us.
TJ, I just asked Tyreek this, but being a local guy and just seeing the success that you guys have been able to have in the last 2 years since Shane Beamer arrived, and USC continuing to go after local guys, and they want to be here. That obviously wasn't the case always the last couple of years. How special is that to see so many guys who want to stay in state and that talent continuing to get better year after year and wanting to be Gamecocks?
I think that's huge. I think the best players in the state should play for the state. You know, I was blessed to be one of those guys, brought my talents here. Hopefully we can all make a lot of noise this year.
Tyreek's been around here for quite a while and been through a lot of stuff and got to play a good bit last year. As you see him coming into this spring and having an opportunity to play even more, what have you kind of seen from him on the field?
With Reek, I think it's all about confidence. You know, he done had different coaches previous years, and people tell him different things. I think once Reek just get his head on straight, like he is in the spring, I've been seeing it. A really big help for us this season.
DJ, a lot got made last year about, as a defense, the run defense as a whole. What have you seen through these first 2-3 weeks of practice to where, like, okay, we're seeing some improvement there. We're seeing some signs that it's going to get better in the fall?
I think more just everyone's now, I'm not saying they weren't, but people are now really getting on the same page, knowing their assignment, knowing their alignment, knowing everything they have on a certain play, whether it's this call or that call. No one's really out there lost, and I feel like that's really going to help us in the long run. Thank y'all.